Hi, I'm Sandy.
Hi, and I'm Trina.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It.
We're coming to you once again from sunny Manteka. It's a great day out here today.
It's another beautiful day, Trina.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Sandy. Today we wanted to try to get into just let you get to know us a little better of our experiences, and specifically we're going to talk more about just some experiences that Sandy might have had, and she's going to just share with us just some of the things that most recent experiences that she might have had with loss. And so, one of the questions I would just ask you, Sandy, is maybe to tell us just a little bit about your experience with your most recent loss and who they were to you.
Thank you, Trina. My most recent loss was my aunt and uncle, who were second parents to me. Not like second parents, they were second parents to me. Our bond, our relationship, truly was just that close. And I'll just start by sharing with you what happened to my aunt and uncle most recently. In January, I had spoken to my aunt and uncle, and I always visit them in the month of March. Is my first visit. They live in Texas, and they are two beautiful people who had been married for 57 years, and so they had a long history and a long just standing with the family of who we all looked up to and admired. On early January, I had spoken to my aunt. She had went to a doctor's visit, and we had chatted for a while. And I just so happened, which I would occasionally do, send her a gift. She received the gift. We laughed and we talked about um, how much she enjoyed the gift, her and my uncle. And 2 days later, before day in the morning, I received that phone call that nobody wants to receive. Um, it was someone calling to let me know that my aunt had passed unexpectedly that morning. I found myself just overwhelmed with grief. These, this is a woman who full of life, full of love, and I have so much respect for her. So immediately it hit me like a ton of bricks. And so, as I was still processing the grief of my aunt and consoling my uncle and making preparations to go now and visit and support him in the loss of his wife that he had shared with over 57 years, I received another phone call stating that he now had passed away. So, as you can imagine, Trina, I was not even in this body at this point. There is no way I could be going from making plans, laughing and talking to them just days before, and not one, but both are gone in a moment's time.
Yeah, that's like that. That's heavy just to hear that. I mean, you've heard stories of people who've been married for a long time. One will go right after another, but we don't always experience it. It doesn't always touch our lives. So I can imagine how heavy that was for you and for the rest of your family. And one of the things that we originally thought was we had a conversation, Sandy and I, about when you got to just put things on pause. And so maybe speak to just some of the plans that you had to put on pause, or just some of the things that had to be on pause as a result of not just one, but two very important people leaving at the same time.
Well, I mean, it definitely is what happens during that time period. There were plans in March to visit them, but I also had a vacation plan prior to that that was going to be happening in February, and I had some other things on the agenda. All those things that was so important and I could not miss, and I had to be there, and it had to be on this date at this time. All those things were all put on pause. None of those things really had a meaning anymore, if that makes sense. Nothing seemed so important. Nothing seemed like it could not be missed or passed over at this point, which just days prior was at the top of my priority list and was just definitely had to happen. No interruptions. Well, that joke was on me. And I realized, as I do know, I am familiar with, but we do forget in our day to day that life can stop you and it can put you on pause from all of your plans.
That is definitely one of the things that has come up over and over again, that this sense of being put on pause. Like, we really walk around a lot of times thinking some things aren't very important, and we think we are controlling life. We think we have this control over what's going to happen tomorrow. We have control over our plans, but an experience of, just uh, a death that just unexpected, especially when somebody's full of life and you get that phone call, and pause it is everything, all of your plans, whether it's
Right.
work, whether it's home, vacations. And so we just want you all to know that we get the pause, we get that feeling of when things have to be put on pause. Not much you can do about it. um, we know that eventually, you will resume with some plans, but even that we don't want to take for granted. We don't want to take,
No.
these things for granted.
And I think that we all probably have a calendar. Some may live by it more than others. Um, you have a work calendar or a personal calendar. You have all these dates and these things that you've planned for. You've forecasted out. You've made arrangements. So when that day comes, whether it be a meeting or the first day of your vacation or whatever it is, you've made preparations to have that happen. But as we're talking today, those things you will realize in those moments, they mean nothing. There is nothing you can say or do, and we said this in a previous segment, that you just can't prepare. Even if you are notified way in advance of someone's illness, and it's been predicted of maybe how long it it cannot prepare you for the moment you receive the news. I just That shock factor is still very much so there.
We do want to encourage you, though, that even though we know we have to put life on pause when certain situations happen, we want to encourage you that there will be a time when you have to push play again. And so that's just life. We're going to experience pauses in our life, unbelievable pauses, things that will just shake us to our core. But at some point, and we hope that you look towards hope, we will push play again. And we want to encourage you to chime in to whatever it is that will help you push play. One of the things that we have said is, in everybody's life, you have something that could motivate you. Grandkids, uh, a spouse, or just a family member, or some situation that might help you push pause again. So we want to remind you to just go ahead and visit that lighthouse. Um, when you need to push play again, um, we want to remind you to
To be encouraged,
yeah.
to be hopeful, and
Yeah.
I know in the moment, even to muster up a smile just seems impossible.
Yeah.
To laugh is absolutely absurd. You can't even imagine yourself. You almost don't even know what it sounds like, because it just takes the air out of you. It takes the life, even. It can feel like it's taking that out of you. But you will find, if you allow time, will find a place of hope, will find a place of peace, and you will find a place of being able to move forward. And it doesn't happen in that order necessarily, and it doesn't happen for everyone at the same time. So, and I think time is the operative word here. Don't rush what you're feeling. I'm a big believer to allow myself to move forward. I have to feel what I'm feeling. And I didn't always understand that. But I've learned to know that that is something that truly does help me, and I encourage you to try. Sit in it. If you want to cry, cry.
Amen.
If you want to scream, whatever emotions that you have, if you're angry, you're angry. I don't think it's a right or a wrong. I think that you have to give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling in order to move forward.
Amen. I mean, I 100% agree with you on that. You have to feel what you're feeling in order to move forward. And we encourage you to, again, press play in those moments of pause.
Absolutely. And don't forget to visit your lighthouse.
It'll definitely help you find your way out of the darkness.
Until next time, friends.
See you later.